Hey y'all, the other day I was on somebody's post and you know the comment that always comes to believers. It was they said, "Oh, well, if your God's so good, why did he let the children die?" And you know how they always bring that up about the children who, in the Old Testament who were killed and stuff. And so I was like, "Oh, here we go again." I'm like, "God, your way is right. You're good. Whatever you do is for a reason, right?" And I was like, "But God, but really, it's a hard pill to swallow." So like, why did you do that? And he told me his mercy. And so I was pondering on it. I think it's been like 2 weeks now. And so I just took his answer. I'm like, I'm not gonna argue with God. It's your mercy. And I was thinking about, okay, well that makes sense. And so because I'm like, well, if I'm wicked and I'm raising my children and they're taken before the age of accountability, they're actually saved because it's not God's desire that anybody be lost. So, but he knew that if they came to that age of accountability and they grew up with me, I would create them, they would turn into the wicked person that I am, right? So I was good with it. But then my Bible study today, it was confirmed, and I didn't even ask God for the confirmation, but I'm glad that he did, because I'm like, okay, God, I did hear you correctly. In 1 Kings chapter 14, verse 13, let me give you a backstory, because Jeroboam is the one who took the 10 kingdoms from Solomon's son. Remember, Solomon went wicked, and the prophet said, "Oh, I'm going to snatch the kingdom from you, but I will leave a remnant." And so this whole thing happened. Rehoboam, his son, was only over Judah and Benjamin, I believe, and the other 10 were under Jeroboam. He became the king, but he was very wicked. He was doing all this kind of stuff. And maybe I'll make another video about that. But another prophet came and told him, like, look, your son, there's going to be a king who rises up, and he's going to tear down all your altars, and all of you guys that have been worshiping these false gods, these gods that you've created, y'all are going to die on these same altars or whatever. He gives this word, and his son becomes sick, and he sends his wife to go to the prophet to ask questions about the son or whatever. And the wife is told that as soon as you set your foot back into that city, as soon as you go back home, your son is going to die. And he says in verse 13, we're in chapter 14, verse 13, he says, all Israel will mourn him and bury him, for he is the only one of Jeroboam who shall come to the grave, because in him there is found something good toward the Lord God of Israel in the house of Jeroboam. So his son was in a wicked family. He's being raised up amongst all this wickedness. But God said, there's something good in him, so I'm going to take him. Listen, God's ways are not our ways. His thoughts are not our thoughts, but his ways are perfect. He's a just God. He's a just judge. I'm just amazed. It's like people say, oh, the